Well, well, well. Where are all the Mike Tyson fans now, huh? Sleeps him in one. Jake Paul's not a real boxer. Hey, all I'm saying is that I called it. Now, I did predict a round one, round four finish, but I obviously talked about the other advantages Jake has: age, speed, power, not brain damage, everything that you can think of that a boxer needs to win a fight, height, leg length. Like, Jake Paul has every advantage in this fight. And now, you might still think Jake Paul's shit. I'm not going to disagree with you at this point. He couldn't finish a 60-year-old man. That's the narrative now. Knock down every opponent except for a 60-year-old man, you know? How bad is Mike Perry? Fuck, man, I'm never going to get over that loss. But, no, Mike Tyson, if you don't know, he fought Jake Paul. Today, I guess, or I guess yesterday. No, today, as recording this video. I'm recording this immediately after the fight. And, no surprise, Jake Paul won. Kind of a surprise, he won by decision because he couldn't finish a 60-year-old man. Now, was this fight entertaining? No. Did Mike Tyson look good? No. For a 60-year-old man, sure. But he didn't look that great. Was he bobbing and weaving a little bit? Yeah. He did that a few times, but when Jake Paul wasn't around. It's almost like he started dancing when no one was around. It's just, like, Mike isn't a fighter anymore. It's been 30 years. Shit happens, it's 20 years, I know, but shit happens, you know? Mike doesn't have that same hunger. He doesn't have that same power. He's old. It is what it is, you know? And I completely put my neck on the line, obviously saying that Jake Paul was going to knock him out in one. He didn't. But it was quite clearly going to be Jake Paul. Like, listen, all respect to Mike Tyson, one of the most dangerous boxers of all time. Could be arguably one of the best heavyweights of all time. But this is Father Time we're talking about here. Father Time rules over all. Mike Tyson, he's getting paid the bag for this. He wanted to show up, wanted to see if he could fight. And he kind of still can for a 60-year-old man. But, you know, let's not get it twisted here. This was 16 minutes. This is a unranked MMA fight length. And Jake Paul landed, what, 50-something strikes? Mike Tyson landed 18? This is kind of like, if I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm not a boxing fan. This is kind of worst case scenario for you boxing fans. Not only did Jake Paul not knock out Mike Tyson to showcase at least the sport's entertaining, but Jake Paul went to decision with the 60-year-old man. That's pretty fucking embarrassing for a boxer, you know? And then it also just looks like shit because Mike Tyson literally sat there eating a jab for, what was it, 8 rounds straight? No, sorry, 6 rounds straight? It's just... It's clear it was obviously Jake. People are going to say rigged. No, Mike Tyson's 60. That's just how age works. I'm sorry, it's just how it is. Now, it does look bad for Jake because Jake didn't get the finish. One thing I will say, it didn't really look like Jake ever landed a clean flush shot. He was landing jabs. He was kind of glazing the temple. We also need to, or grazing the temple. We also need to remember this is 14-ounce gloves. Normal boxing fights typically take place in slightly lower ounces of gloves. 14 ounces is a little heavy. I know some boxing fights do, but, you know, in general, you're looking at like a 12, 8-ounce-ish, you know, I believe. You know, correct me if I'm wrong, I guess. But, yeah, this just looked like a young guy who has a jab against a guy who doesn't fight. It is what it is. Did Mike Tyson look good for a 60-year-old man? Yeah. Did Mike Tyson look good for boxing? No. He literally looked like shit. He was just standing there. Getting his fucking head torn apart by these little pussyfoot jabs that Jake was doing. Listen, man, I got respect for Mike Tyson. Outside of the criminal charges he faced a while ago. But outside of that, you know, I got respect for what he did for the sport. This was This was like a shit stain on the sport. This is just like the first guy Jake can't knock out is a 60-year-old Mike Tyson. Credit for Mike Tyson, but now it just makes Jake Paul look weak. And I mean, you can say you don't like Jake Paul or whatever, but he is kind of like what's leading the young generation of boxing. What are the young generation watching? Inoue? Come on. Tank Davis? Tank Davis is also getting old. Ryan Garcia, not really the greatest influence. You know, that's what the young generation's watching. And when I say young, I mean under 20, alright? You 40-year-olds, I'm not talking about you guys, right? I'm talking about the young, you know? But, yeah, I just think this fight was obvious. This fight was set in stone. And everyone who was on the Mike Tyson side, oh, well, you know, Mike Tyson just wasn't throwing strikes. He's 60. He hasn't fought a real opponent in 20 years. It's different when you're in a fight and you're taking damage. Did he look good in the open workouts? Sure. But he had no way to close the distance on Jake Paul. Jake Paul the whole time was looking for a counter hook. That's the whole thing he was doing. He was setting up jabs to the body so that he could throw the hook. A few times he even tried it, but every time he zigged, Mike Tyson zagged, which is good from Tyson, but like this is kind of just like worst case scenario for boxing sport. I'm just saying, man, like this is shit. Like I can't imagine. Like, I literally waited 2 hours for this fight. The woman fight before this was more entertaining than this. That's depressing. I expect more from Jake Paul in terms of entertainment. Not in terms of skill. In terms of just, like, make it more entertaining. In the final 10 seconds against a guy like Mike Tyson, fucking point to the ground. Well, you can't with the gloves, but you know what I mean. Point to the ground and fucking slug it out with the baddest man on the planet. Oh. I bid you a good day, good sir. Fuck out of here, Jake Paul. Oh God. Overhand right from hell. You know? Rematch Mike Perry. Mike Perry on a full training camp smokes Jake Paul. Just saying. But no, I mean this was like the kind of expected outcome. You know, I was really leaning on Jake Paul for a KO just because of the age. But regardless of the age, like, Jake Paul just never really landed cleanly. So, whether you want to say, like, that kind of just makes Jake look like shit. And I do think this was a lose-lose for Jake. And Jake still lost. Like, he's up money, down on reputation again. Canelo was probably looking at this just fucking giggling, you know? And there's, like, no real fighter that's going to take him seriously. This was a heavyweight fight. You think Jake Paul does anything to Usyk? Come on. Tyson Fury? Come on, guys. Dubois? Maybe Dubois, but you get my point here, right? Like, it's just, this is shit for boxing. This was shit to watch. This was Jake Paul's probably, like, worst performance in terms of skill. And we just saw a 60-year-old man get beat for 8 rounds. And I called it. That's the worst part. You know? This is what I imagine people felt like when they picked Ilya to knock out Max. This is what I'm feeling right now. It's like, man, I picked it right, but at what cost? But yeah, just wanted to say that. I want to get my 2 cents. Obviously, I made the prediction. I'm going to make the reaction. That's the overall breakdown, I guess, of the fight. It was literally just Mike Tyson. First round, he outlanded Jake. Second round, it was close. And then every other round, Mike Tyson would get hit by a jab, hit by something, do one explosive movement, and then he takes the rest of the round off. And that's what it was for every round. You know, but yeah, if you made it to the end of the video, I want to thank you for watching. I do daily uploads. I'm starting to stream every day. Hey, I'm the new MMA YouTuber on the block, you know? I got bedtime MMA guru running, alright? Hey, just you wait. Let me get some skin in this game. Ooh, I'm going to be around for a long time, alright? But yeah, with all that being said, I want to thank you for watching, making it all the way to the end of this video. And as always, I hope you have a good day.